Artist Jessica Pribula has merged her love for fiber arts and her skill as a weaver with her fine arts education to create a unique medium. In her home in rural Polk County, Minnesota, Jessica draws inspiration from the landscape around her.
I really must be a fiber artist at heart because I keep coming back to, using the quilting tools or the weave or the colors as inspiration. I've been working as an artist since I was in high school, and probably even before then. I was introduced to weaving at the University of North Dakota, and weaving became meditative, like a way to express myself, kind of lose myself as an artist in the process of creating. I was accepted to Central Washington University's master's program, and at that point they only had a painting program. They didn't have weaving or fibers. My challenge was, how do I combine this still life, this pastel work that I've been trained in, and this technical weaving? I still wanted to weave, I was missing weaving, and so I just started experimenting in my studio with the paper and cutting into the paper and weaving the paper. Can I create something that I felt a deeper connection to? The process starts with the sketch. You can see I have some sort of sense of the lines, and this would represent the weaving. Here's where I get to go back to my technical approach, and I really get to design almost as if I was weaving. So it's an interesting mix of the fiber arts and more of an expressionist painting style. This is something that I picked up when I was in college from my weaving teacher. So this is different ways to weave and to set up a loom. And so I take this and I translate that into my paper. Looks complicated, but it's really, once you get to know what you're doing, it's pretty simple. So I'll start with that sketch, and then we move to drawing everything out as accurately as possible, and then I move into the weaving, which is the cutting and the weaving back into the paper. Sometimes if I do make a mistake with a line, I can correct it, but other times I just have to make it work or change my design concept. And then before I begin, I usually end up just erasing some of the lines. The very first one is always a little bit hard with the small pieces. And this is when I have to remind myself to breathe. I get so caught up in the finishing or just the excitement of getting that finished weave that I just I forget to breathe. And then comes a period of waiting. I almost have to feel a sense of I'm ready to paint. I know what colors I want to paint, what the theme will be, how I'm going to move the paint around on the canvas. And that can take some time, because if you just wove a large piece in paper, once you put paint down on it, it's incredibly difficult to remove that. And so I really take a lot of time, and then I'll let things dry in between, or I'll come back in with different coats and different layers. And of course, usually add another medium on top. Yoga is a way to help center oneself and learn how to come back into my source of creation. I'm thinking about different concepts, whether it be color choices or theme choices. When I practice yoga, I feel I'm more grounded. There's things that I wasn't taught as an artist, how to balance my love of creating and the joy of creating and getting lost in that creation with sitting up nice and straight and taking a break so my eyes don't get tired. It's so hard. Sometimes, I just get lost and I don't want to pull myself away. And then when you do take a break, you can come back and you're much stronger. So you can see some of the different styles. I designed all of the lines based on a lace piece of fabric. You're creating an object more to look at. It's more of a precious object in a way, as opposed to something that you would wear. It has a different feel to it. The first body of work that I did with the weaving was inspired by my love of fashion design. I wanted to go into fashion design when I was in high school. A lot of my work is inspired by what the dress symbolizes for women and the concept of beauty itself. Now I'm coming back to more of an inspiration from the landscape and the sense of my surroundings. So I'm back in this space, and so I'm doing a little bit more traditional style with my non-traditional technique. It's been wonderful that I've been able to work as a ceramic artist in weaving. I've done design work on the computer, done mixed media, acrylic, oil. So I've had the opportunity to work in a lot of different media. It doesn't really matter to me what medium I'm working in. They're all so much fun, and it's hard to give up one. For me, I would say my ultimate goal is bringing beauty into the world.
Prairie Mosaic is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4, 2008, the North Dakota Council on the Arts, and by the members of Prairie Public.